Okay, so real short and real sweet there. This unconditionally loving, this unconditionally loving Lord is telling you that you're an impure and you're a sinner full of shitty karma there. And that's who everybody is falling at the feet of there. Falling at the feet of a imaginary, a made up supreme being who is, you're told, is unconditionally loving. And yet, if you don't believe in him, you're going to go to hell. If you don't get your there, because you're naturally evil. You're there and impure there. And who created you like that? So this is who everybody is falling at the feet of there, and hoping and desperately hoping to live with forever. And then you have me, one of endless numbers of realized individual beings of bliss consciousness that are, and we're here to help you realize that you too are an individual infinite being of bliss consciousness right now, fully functional there as an individual infinite being of bliss consciousness who is all powerful, all knowing, infinitely creative, spontaneously self-luminous, overwhelmingly intoxicating. They're supremely beautiful, intensely enticing. They're spontaneously self-luminous, all powerful, indestructible, permanent, birthless, immortal, right now. You as an individual infinite being of bliss consciousness are your own infinite bliss energy and the holder and molder of your infinite, indestructible, all-powerful, permanent, constant bliss energy there. So you have this what is called an unconditionally loving Lord who has made you as impure, naturally evil there, and you have to, since he's unconditional, this is his definition of unconditional there. As long as you bow at my feet and believe in me, or somehow get your karma all taken care of, you're going to hell, or you're going to live endless lifetimes until you get your karma taken care of. And then you can live in heaven with me, or live at one with me. There, this is his definition of unconditional love. Come on. Even if you think you're a human being, you're smarter than that. You're smart enough to see that there. It's not rocket science. No, and why would this imaginary God have made you impure in the first place? No. Myself as a realized individual, infinite being of bliss consciousness, along with bajillions, endless numbers of us realized beings of bliss consciousness, are here to help you realize that you too right now are a fully functional, individual, infinite being of bliss consciousness there. And that each of us, we are not one, each of us as individual, infinite beings of bliss consciousness there are everywhere. Each of us individually are everywhere. Feel, play with, play with that. Feel the intimacy in that of each of us, individual, infinite beings of bliss consciousness being everywhere. This is not something to believe in. I repeat, this is not something to believe in. This is not a spiritual path. This is not a spiritual path. This and ram, listening to and feeling the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness is immediate, direct experience with you, with yourself as an individual, infinite being of bliss consciousness. That bliss that you experience, that you hear and feel is you, and you alone is you. Not anybody else. There's nobody else inside there. That bliss that you feel is you. And as you listen and feel again and again the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness, you spontaneously start living more and more in your bliss consciousness there. You spontaneously start living more and more deeply in your bliss consciousness there. So again, you can believe in this conditionally loving Lord that created you as scum and a sinner, naturally evil there, and believe, which is riddled with doubt there. You can believe in him and believe that you're just scum of the worst kind there, or you can get to know the ultimate truth about yourself through immediate, direct experience there, by just listening to and feeling the roar and the vibration of your bliss consciousness, and spontaneously start living more and more in your bliss consciousness, and just listening to and feeling the roar and vibration of your bliss consciousness, you will spontaneously start living more and more in your bliss consciousness, and come to know, not believe, that's riddled with doubt there, but know that you are an individual, infinite being of bliss consciousness there. So again, you're totally free to think you're scum there, and enjoy that to your heart's content. I truly don't see anybody enjoying that there. So, or you can, it's so simple, so simple. Look how beautiful that is. You know, we as realized individual infinite beings of bliss consciousness are spontaneously expressing our bliss consciousness and expanding our bliss consciousness. That involves spontaneously creating more and more universes and more worlds and more individual infinite beings of bliss consciousness, and creating more and more individual infinite beings of bliss consciousness, not creating scumbags there that are sinners there and full of karma, but creating more and more individual infinite beings of bliss consciousness to live on these worlds and to live and play on these worlds and in these universes together, to live and play together on these worlds and in these universes together. You have been created as an individual infinite being of bliss consciousness there. Unlike this imaginary Lord that by his rules and stuff have been created as a sinner, an impure scum there. So it's your choice. When are you going to start? When are you going to start? There. Right now would be an ideal time.